Great Tuesday morning. How are you doing? This is your girl Shan. Happy Tuesday. Get up, get on your way. One, unless you're a teacher. Then, take your time, sleep in. We thank you for all that you do. Enjoy your break. But every Tuesday, I always say thank you so much for supporting us on our radio show, Marriage Mondays with the Kings. Man, like when I sit back and reflect of how God, use some people to tell us that this is what we need to be doing in our current season in our life, and to see how people have hung in there and supported us throughout the years. We are forever eternally grateful to you all. Thank you so much for getting up on every morning at 7:30 Central Standard Time just to be here with your girl. You know what I'm saying? To chop it up. I really appreciate that because, I know you all come and you receive inspiration from me, but I get so much inspiration from you all as well. So thank you. So hey, Dalisha. Hey, Tasha. How you doing? Today, your girl gonna be talking about this. So I got a question. I ain't trying to be, like I always say, in nobody's business or whatever the case may be. But I'm going to keep it real. So, your child gets married. Your child marries someone like us. Our children marry someone like us. Hey, Natasha, what are they marrying? That's the question on the day. Who and what are they marrying when they marry someone like us? Hey, Aisha, how you doing? I know y'all like, dang, Shan, really? For real. Because see, I'm not trying to bring us down on today, but one of the things that me and my husband always say on our show is, what example is your marriage setting for your children? Now, if some of you are in the age group, you know what I'm saying, like me and my husband, maybe you started early in having your family or whatever, your kids may be grown and out the house and y'all almost empty nesters. We got 2 more to go. 3 is grown. We got 2 more to go. But anywho, in saying that, if your child was to get married to someone just like you, what would they be marrying? Now, the first thing out our mind, of course, is amazing thoughts, because we think highly of ourselves and things like that. But if we can go just a little bit beyond that, if we go a little bit deeper, because let me tell you one of the things that I've learned, and I don't know if y'all have been in the same situation, but have your child ever done something that irritates you? Just irritate you. Like, say, for instance, I'll give an example. My daughter loved that baby to death. You know what I'm saying? But it hurt my heart. And some of us mothers have went through this. We try to be there for our children, help our children, whatever the case may be. And my daughter said, well, mommy, I don't need help anymore. I don't need you to help me. And I'm sitting up here like devastated. How many of y'all ever felt that before? And then I'm sitting up here and I'm feeling some kind of way in my spirit, right? Because I'm like, hey, Marlene, because I'm sitting up here like, what? You always need your mama. That's what I'm thinking. Like, how you going to tell me you don't need my help? And then here's little Miss Planner and she's doing all the things. And mom, in order for me to do this science project, I got to do this and I need to buy this. So we got to go to the store by this day. She boom, 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 boom. And I'm sitting up here looking at her. And so I go tell my husband, like, I can't believe it. She says she don't need my help. And she doing this and this and this. And my husband looked at me and said, but guess what she act like, though? And I was like, oh. He said, just like you. I was like, Have you ever sat and thought about that? If your child was to get married and they marry someone like you, what would they be marrying? Now, I have seen and heard, men who said, hey, I grew up in a single household where it was just me and my mother. It was me and my siblings and my mother. She was hardworking. She did this. She always made sure we had food on the table, da, 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 da. And so 9 times out of 10, because he's seen that, it can go 2 ways, though. He'll probably marry someone just like his mom, because statistics tell us that when we marry, 9 times out of 10, we're going to marry someone that's just like our parents. They say generally the daughter will marry someone like her husband, and the husband will marry someone that's just like his mom was. The daughter marries someone like her dad. And then the son will marry someone, or the husband will marry someone like his mom. I hope that makes sense, because I know I just kind of went. However, what would they be marrying? What characteristics would they be marrying? Now, there are still some good, amazing parents out there, because, we was talking about training up a child yesterday. But there are still good, amazing parents out there who desire for their children to grow up and have a lot better than what they had. To exceed beyond, hey, baby, I only got my high school diploma. I want you to be the first one in the family to go to college. college and get your degree. I want you to be the first one in the family to have a business and not have to come out of the house, working for someone else, but you be the first one to have a business. We have parents like that. However, being that's what statistics say, and sometimes it's not true, of who you marry, but 9 times out of 10 it is. What is your child? What would they be marrying? Now most people won't admit to this, but I just need you to think you ain't even got to say nothing. But fathers, would your daughter be marrying someone like you? That's a hard worker. That will be the hopes. Hey, Andrea, that will be the hopes. Someone who is a provider, someone who is going to take care of the home. Hey, Alex, someone who is going to protect, someone who is going to pray and seek God and, for the household, someone who is not going to dictate her and tell her what she will and will not do, but will love her and see her as an equal, even though God has given him the responsibility of being the head of the household. That would be the hope. If this is the type of dad that you are, that your daughter can see, and hopefully and prayerfully marry somebody that will be even better to her than you were. You know what I'm saying? When she was growing up. Mom, I don't know about y'all, but we have 3 boys. And what I always pray, I've been praying since my boys was little, that God will bless them with that wife that he has for them, that they would wait for that wife that God has for them, that she will be a support to him, not a leech, that she will be there, you know what I'm saying, and that they will work together, that they will grind together, build an amazing family, not just some chick that want to be setting up with her feet kicked up, good morning Candy, pampered and wanting to be taken care of, not some chick that's just some label queen that all you care about is fancy and expensive things, somebody who will work together with my boys. Where's my mama's at out there? You know what I'm saying? Someone that won't belittle them and put them down and try to berate them because they're trying to be a man and the young lady's not used to having a real man in her life. That's the type of prayer that I pray, you know what I'm saying, over my boys. And not that they would just jump out there and just marry anything, but they would marry a woman that's going to hold them down like they've seen their mom hold the dad down. That's the type of wife that I desire for my boys. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure some of y'all, and I hope and pray that y'all praying the same thing. However, that was a nice, cute stuff. Let's go to the keep it real Al of the story, the keep it real Al. So dad, mom, parents, what are we showing these babies? What are they seeing in our marriage that they can use as a model for their own marriage when they get married? Who will they be marrying? You see what I'm saying? Like we said yesterday, the word of God say train up a child. So what are we doing in the training? Because see, this is something. See, this new generation is on a whole different level than we was, baby. We was taught not to ask questions, which still got us, some of us, messed up to this day because we need some clarity. Hey, Miss Delia, we was taught, you just keep things inside. You don't go get no type of help and everything like that. We was taught a whole bunch of tomfoolery. But see, we're game changers. And see, this new generation, baby, they got questions. And if you ain't answering their questions, then baby, they're going to go somewhere else to get the answers. But 9 times out of 10, even when there is not communication, see, we came up on the, what was it? Do as I say, not as I do. Now, these kids ain't doing that on today. These jokers got questions and they want some answers. And so even though with the communication, they may not come out and ask, you see what I'm saying? But it's what they see that's going to teach them greater than what they're told. What they see, okay? So daddy, so let's say your daughter get married and you get mad because she marries this dude that, you know what I'm saying, he's an alcoholic. He spends more money on alcohol than he do providing for the family. Or say she marries this dude that beats her. He puts his hands on her and he physically abuses her. He belittles her. He berates her. He puts her down. And he says she's not worth anything and she'll never be anything without him. He treats her like a slave and says she has to always check in with him. She can't go anywhere unless she calls and lets him know and get permission of where she's going. She can't go anywhere unless she checks in when she gets there. And then she has to call him again before she leaves. Every little thing. She can't buy anything. He divvies out $100 to $200 a month for her to go and get groceries for the family. She's not allowed to work. She's not allowed to dress the way that she desires to dress. She's not allowed to have her own mind. And see, what a dad will do, generally 9 times out of 10, is he'll get upset. And 9 times out of 10, he'll probably get upset. He want to fight the dude. He want to jump the dude. You know what I'm saying? He's mad about that. But he gets upset at his daughter because he says, why would you go and pick a man like this? Yet and still she's looking at daddy. Daddy, you the one that taught me this. Daddy, the reason why I can't have a real relationship with a man is because you cheated on mama. It was so many different women that you had. But see, we wasn't allowed, LaSasha, we wasn't allowed to say anything as kids of what we seen because we allowed to got our teeth knocked down our throat. So daddy, you wonder why I'm with this man, but I end up finding a man that was just like you because this is what I thought that love was because that's what you taught me. It ain't what you said, daddy, but it's what you taught me. So mama get mad because her son is out with this with this female, Lord. Her son is out with married this female, and this female's all about labels. She's all about laying on her back, being taken care of. You see what I'm saying? Eating on some bonbons, watching her favorite reality shows. See, back in mama and them days, it was soap operas. You know what I'm saying? Young and the Restless, Days of Our Lives, As the World Turned. Who am I talking to on the day? Who knows a little bit about Victor or whatever? And see, so now the son goes out and he doesn't, get a wife that will help him grow and you know what I'm saying, support him and pray for him and hold up his arms. No, he don't get that type of wife. He get a wife who has to have the most expensive things in life. He gets a wife that don't know how to manage her money. He gets a wife that says, oh, this money right here is mine and your money is mine too. He gets a wife that talks him down and tell him he's never good enough. See, this is the type of wife that your son goes out and marry. Yet you get mad at the son and say, son, why are you doing this? Son, why would you go and marry this type of female, son? She ain't doing nothing but using you. But see, your son was raised that he can't backtalk and he can't sass mama. He was raised that, you know what I'm saying, he can't be open and have communication. And so he wants to say out of his mouth, mama, I went and married a female just like you. Said a mouthful, right? So what is it that we're teaching our children on this morning? Is it that we're teaching our children on a day-to-day basis by what they see? You know how people say, yeah, you can tell me all day, especially us have been married. You done told your spouse this, I'm sure, maybe not. You can tell me all day that you love me, but it's not by what you say, it's what you do. So how is it that we sit up here and try to tell our children stuff all day, but our actions are not lining up with the things that we've told? Now, somebody gonna get mad on the day because, Shan, you talking about me. This and that. No, we have to be grown enough to take this in. Some people still got little kids in the household today and they looking up to you. What are they seeing? Are they seeing you going out on a date? Are they seeing you faking and jaking? As my homegirls say, are they seeing you faking and jaking down at the church house where you acting like you super happy and, oh, praise the Lord, hallelujah, and you doing all this, you speaking all in tongues and turn up the doggone church running around that joker. But when you come home, you telling people at the church that your marriage is, oh yeah, my man of God and this is my woman of God, to get the accolades and the amens in the church house. But when you come back to your own house, see, your child is starting to crack open the Bible and say, well, mom and daddy say, I got some questions. You know what I'm saying? See, the Bible say that technically you ain't supposed to be down there doing it at the church if this is what's going on in your own household. But see, they allowed to get their lips knocked off around to the backside of their head. So if your child was to marry someone like you, what would they be marrying? Would they be marrying a liar? A cheater? Would they be marrying someone who is always complaining and you never got anything positive to say out of your mouth? Would they be marrying someone that's fake? Someone is two-faced, someone who never knows how to lift anybody else up except for themselves, someone who places themselves on a pedestal, but they don't know how to lift up the next person. Do they marry someone that, you know what I'm saying, prays for them? Someone who has a big heart. And you know how you can tell when your children are lining up with you as a parent? When people out in the community and out in the world see your children and say, wow, especially if you have a big heart and you like to give and you like to see people do better, they line up and say, wow, do you know outside of your presence, your children act just like you. I had to meet you. See, what is it that we are instilling in our children? Yet we get mad at our children when they get grown and they end up marrying someone that's just like us. Now, someone right now is listening to your girl on the date and you lying to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Keep it real. We all got things that we need to work on. We all got things that we got to go through and grow through. You know what I'm saying? But some of us thinks that the old people, I ain't going to say exactly what the old people used to say, but you can feel it in, that your stuff don't stink. You think you everything. You think you above. You know what I'm saying? And then they turn around and they marry somebody just like you. And they bring that individual home and you sitting up looking like, why would you go and do that? You pulling them aside. Why would you go and marry? But baby, what is your marriage teaching your children? Now, you know how you got those family members? I don't know how many of y'all, who train up a child actually communicate with these kids. I don't know how many parents y'all got little young kids, whatever, but baby, this day and age, if I can keep it real, when these kids got questions, it is best to come from the the parent's mouth, okay? It's not bad because, baby, they got too much that they can be exposed to where they can go get answers and it's going to be wrong. When they got questions about marriage, when they're growing up, why don't you tell them the truth? Now, some of y'all may say, and I agree, you can't tell your kids everything. You need to tell them things on their level of understanding. You see what I'm saying? But you need to have open communication with your kids. Now, I tell on me and Mr. King, you know what I'm saying? I've said it all the time. When me and my husband was in that young dumb stage, because I like to say within probably the first 1 to 5 years, maybe even 1 to 8, 1 to 10 years, when the two are becoming one, depending on it. We were military, so it took us some time. We wasn't around each other 24/7 because of the military. And so in saying that, it took us some time to become one. So the oldest son, yeah, all that arguing and fighting and all that stuff that, you know what I'm saying, me and my husband speak about all the time, he got to experience and witness that. He probably even it wasn't too bad to where we was Ike and Tina. We wasn't on that level. But arguing, getting angry and all that kind of stuff like that, the oldest child experienced that. Like I say, from time to time, we tend to do that. But when your child come to you and say, you know what, mama, I got questions. Mama, why is it that you talk to daddy like that? Why is it that I see daddy get up and he trying to do his best, but why do you talk him down like that? Is that what's supposed to happen? Is that what I'm supposed to look for in a wife? Is a wife? What if your son came to you and you are guilty of doing this very thing and he asked you this? What would you tell your son? Shut up and mind your business? Would you tell your son, do as I say, not as I do? Because baby, once you tell that because you're avoiding it, that right there is saying that it's okay. And that's what they're going to look for. Love is when I find a woman who's going to treat me like trash, just like I seen my mama do my daddy. You know what I'm saying? Daddy, because you know how you got these little daddy girls. Daddy, I got a question. Why is it that, mama try her best. She cooks, she cleans, she always try to make sure she look nice when she go out. But why does it seem like mama's not good enough? And the daddy say, well, baby girl, what you talking about? Your mama is good enough. I love her. But daddy, if you love her, why is it that you saying you love her, but I seen you kissing that lady at the Killeen Mall downtown in Killeen? Why was you kissing that other lady when me and my friends was there and you didn't know I was there? Daddy, I was embarrassed when I was with my friends because they said, ain't that your daddy over there holding hands and kissing that woman in Dillard's? What you gonna tell her? That it's okay? What is it that we are teaching our children by the actions of what we do? Why are we not willing to change? See, I'm gonna tell myself one more time and I'm gonna get on up out of here with this truth. So I remember when me and my husband were both in the military station right here at Fort Hood, Texas. This was, I don't know how many duty stations for him. I think this was my second duty station. And so when we had our 3-year-old and then our second son was born. And you know how you get so excited as a parent when your child is born and they begin to crawl and they begin to walk and they begin to, hey, Keela, do all these things and you get excited. Well, let me tell you one thing that I didn't get excited about. See, when I was in the military, I cussed like a sailor. You hear me? Baby, I could cuss with the best of them. What? Cussing like dudes, you hear me? Babe, I will cuss. And that's what I used to do. It was a regular part of my conversation. Me always cussing. But you know what happened? Our second son, when he started saying words beyond mama and daddy, guess what he started to say? He started to say those same curse words. It wasn't yeah, he heard it and we didn't teach that to him, but that's what his young mind picked up from us. You see what I'm saying? He picked up from how I used to cuss, my husband used to cuss too, but that's what he picked up. And so once my son started to cuss, then I was wanting to tap his little fat leg and say, no, you don't need to do that. No, that's a bad word. I wanted to discipline him for cussing. But guess what? He was cussing just like his mama and his daddy. So how can we whoop our children? And the moral of what I'm saying is, how can we whoop and get mad at our children for doing the exact same thing that they have witnessed us doing? See, in order for our children to have better and do better and for us to be game changers, we got to do better. We got to come beyond our selfish self. So when I asked this question at the beginning, what is it that our children would be marrying if they marry someone like us? Somebody was like, a hard worker, somebody who do good. I get up, this and this and this. But now, baby, it ain't the good stuff that our kids look at all the time, especially for, y'all got teenagers. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It ain't the good things. It's those nasty things. It's your nasty attitude. It's when them bill collectors is calling the house. It's when the kids going to the email account because they checking, their homework or they sending an assignment and they see your car note is delinquent. Your car will be repossessed. I'm not talking about people who are struggling and the struggle is real. I'm talking about people who God has blessed you with enough money to cover your finances, but you're labeled, I almost said that word. You're a label queen. You're a label king. You always worry about the BMW that I'm driving, even though you don't have enough money to get the services done on it. You see what I'm saying? Those are the people that I'm talking to. Let me knock on somebody's front door real quick. So for those of you who are high and mighty, bring it back down. In order for us as people to change the things for the better, we have to look deep inside of ourselves. And some of that looking deep inside of ourselves, hey Kashemia, is going and getting some therapy, going to get some help. Because when you open up that box and we don't understand that Pandora's box that we keep closed, because I had a good one, and baby, now that I'm healed, a lot of things are coming out. You know what I'm saying? That Pandora's box, when you open that bad boy, because you done panned all your little hurt and frustration and everything, but your actions is still showing you still got a nasty attitude and everything like that, and you still faking it and trying to fake smile like everything's okay. When you open that box, sometimes you need help, and that means that you need to go and sit down with a therapist so they can help you process through some things. Not change you, but help you grow, because we can't grow and mature until we go through some of those things that hurt us. So who am I talking to on today? Who is single right now and you still haven't gotten married because of the things that you witnessed your mother and or your father go through? Good morning, Brandy. Who still haven't gotten married on the day because you got trust issues and abandonment issues because your parent left you? They wasn't there for you. They didn't raise you and do all the things that they should have done. And you can't let go of that thing. You know what I'm saying? I encourage you to go get some help so you can heal from these things. And I'm not just saying this because, and this is not this ain't counseling advice, but I'm not saying this just because I'm a counselor or a therapist. I'm saying this because in order for our generations to grow strong and our children to have the things that we have been praying for them to have and for God to bless them above what we can even ask or think, we have to make some changes within ourselves. Don't you dare get upset at your children and get mad at them for jumping out and doing some things and marrying some individuals and acting just like you. What you need to do is change the game. So I know there is a lot of parents right now, you're married and you're trying to change. Things will change if you desire for them to change, but that change first start in you. So If you don't want your son to marry some bitter woman like you are, mama, you got to change. If you don't want your daughter to be getting cheated on, and this can go either way, a bitter daddy and a mama that you out here in these streets, even though you got a good man at the house, so you got her half naked on social media and everything, showing everybody else your business. When you have a good husband at the house, then baby, you got to change. Heal from the things that hurt you. So that way you can mature and change for the better and be the best example that your children can see. So that way they don't have to marry a broken example of you. They can marry a healed example of you. So thank you again for supporting us on our radio show last night, Marriage Mondays with the Kings. We greatly appreciate it. Me and my husband, thank y'all for getting up. Coffee crew, that's what I call y'all. I don't know how all 14, 15, 20, 25 y'all, how many, I don't know how many, who is all on here, but I thank you for getting up, and I hope and pray that something that is said, and I do this every time before I come on, is a blessing to you, and not only you, but your marriage, and not only your marriage, your family, your community. So y'all have a blessed day. Don't let anybody steal your joy. Yes, you're right, Miss Delia. Be a game changer. It's time to change some game up in here for the better, okay? Don't let anybody steal your joy. Be a blessing to somebody today and not a curse. Share this because it's free. And your girl Shan, oh yes, I'm going to be back with y'all tomorrow. Either tomorrow I'm going to be talking about step parents, boop, boop, or it was something else the God had placed on my heart this morning that I wrote down. But either way it go, I'm going to keep it real. So y'all have a blessed day and blessings to you. God bless.